round of the Npl Championship in Season 4. This is going to be a battle between Tice and Fabian, probably for the race win today, but we have a really interesting midfield with several drivers in contention for some good points and maybe even a podium today. Max is taking a piss, but as you shall now see with a big surprise, the race is literally about to start in 3 seconds, so he's kind of fucked. We'll see. So, a warning to everyone in the party and anyone who's not in the party, Max is about to get absolutely fisted.
Oh, fuck's sake.
It's lights out and away we go, as Max gets a pretty decent start, but not quite good enough. He's now under pressure from Dan already into turn 1 as you watch Tice in the first corner on the inside, gets ahead of Fabian with a very good run into the first corner. 3 wide behind them, Max around the outside as Dan tries to go down the inside. Max going in a little bit deep there as off the track goes both the Mercedes cars. Really wide there went Dylan as there's contact in the back between Sander. Max down the inside, there's a big aggressive down from Ian down the inside. He's trying to go past Dan there. Couldn't quite make the move. Stick down the inside now as well goes Dylan now getting past him. Complete chaos on the first lap. And we're going to watch the battle for the lead now. Why are my graphics broken? There we go. Purple first sector for Tice. Obviously, now we're on board with Fabian. He gets a huge run down the straight. He's going to use some ERS now. Going for the lead. Tice goes down, or stays on the outside there. As Fabian goes down the inside for the race lead in the McLaren. He gets the move to stick on the inside. That was a nice move there from Fabian, but watch this on board with Tice now. Using some ERS on the exit of the corner, and Max has turned in on Dylan now, who's running very well in 4th place. Has now gone all the way back down the field into last place. So that was not very nice from Max there. Dan is now all over the back of him. Tice off the track there, trying to go around the outside of Fabian. So I don't know what happened there, but they were very close together. As Tice still trying to go down the inside of Fabian, who's very much on the pace this weekend. So we'll see what these two can do in this race. This little ding-dong battle between Fabian and Tice for the race win will be very interesting to watch. And now the flag as Dan spins out of 4th place. So he's now way down the order with Dylan now coming up behind him. He'll go around the outside. Ian in 4th place. It's an amazing performance this weekend so far from Ian. And he's on the hard tyres, so is Max, so is everyone, I believe. Anyone not on hard tyres, that'll be interesting to see. No, I believe everyone is on the hard tyres for this race. They're going a hard medium strategy, which is optimal this track, similar to Canada. Yeah, and Brett would be the only person to try mediums he did last season. That didn't work for him. He was slower than me on hard tyres, so I don't know why he tried that. But as you see now, Tice coming out of turn 2. Just behind Fabian, who seems to really have the pace today to win the race. So this is very interesting between these two. They just both need to save ERS. Tice slightly better on ERS, as he usually is in this series. Runs a bit wide, however, on the curb coming out the corner. So the closest battles on track right now seem to be for the race lead and for the battle for 5th place, whereas there's a little bit of a queue now forming behind the Aston Martin of Oliver in his debut race. He's got Aiden and Sander right behind him, as Aiden has a really good exit out the corner. He's going to come right behind him using some ERS now as we watch the battle for the lead as Tice goes around the outside of Fabian now. On the curb, he gives him space. Fabian does give him a very respectful amount of room there and goes back around the outside. Fabian an amazing overtake as Tice goes back past him now. Tice retakes the lead here on the 2nd lap, going down the back straight, going towards Scene. And will he use some ERS to do that? Yes, he does, and it is a lot of ERS now being used for Tice against Fabian. So Fabian has double the ERS of Tice in this race so far. This is interesting to see, so we'll see as the race progresses how things go. As we now watch the battle for 5th place. Aiden all over the back of Dylan now in his debut race after an amazing start of 4 places at the first lap. Very good to just make the most of the chaos that there was on the opening lap, as Aiden now once again just getting very close as Dan now all over the back of Sander, who's trying to keep up with these guys in front of him. Can't quite seem to do so as Dylan now. It's very slow off the corners here, so lots of battles here and there in the race now as Aiden hits the back of him, and there's contact at the final corner. Aiden hit the back of Oliver now. He comes out the corner using some ERS, and now Dan and Sander both all over the back of these guys in the midfield. This is a 4-way battle for 5th place between Oliver, Aiden, Sander and Dan now side by side going into the first corner. Down the inside he's going to try and go. Of course, talking about Oliver now as he goes down the inside. There's contact. Dan makes contact with the back of Sander's car as he tries to go down the inside to make an aggressive move side by side once again. Aiden trying to make a move. He backs out though. Here comes Sander on the outside trying to make a move. And Sander all over the back of Aiden now. This is an intense midfield fight as Max is 3.7 seconds off the lead, only losing time in the straights. As now we look at Fabian once again. Will he use some ERS? No, he doesn't, and that means that he has 4 times as much ERS as Tice. This is massive for Tice in this race. He's usually very good at ERS saving, but he just doesn't have the time to do so. But I believe Fabian doesn't realise that he has so much of an ERS advantage, but there's no point using it. He needs to save it just as much as Tice does. So if he can make a move down the inside, an aggressive move. Off the track he goes. Oliver trying to make a move on the inside of Aiden. Goes off the track, and now just behind him, Sander going to try and make a move, maybe going to see. They're side by side still now. And now Dan's all over the back of Sander once again as he catches back up to this queue after making a mistake at the second corner. Down the inside of Sini goes. That's an aggressive move from Aiden. Can he make it stick on the inside? Just about. They're all lifting to try and make sure they don't make contact. He does make the move, but it's a switchback attempt here. Down the inside he goes. Aiden's still on the outside being respectful. They're going so slowly as Sander almost makes contact and Dan spins around. And now ahead of him goes Dylan now. And Dan once again running into the back of the Mercedes of Sander. And that's unfortunate for him there as he goes through. This is just so much chaos in the midfield battle today. So much chaos. This is a very interesting race. There's now riding the curve quite a lot as Aiden now trying to make up time on the Aston Martin in front of him. Just very clearly faster as Aiden. He just cannot seem to get past the widest Aston Martin you've ever seen of Oliver. Now he's doing a very good job on his debut to hold on to fifth place as Fabian takes the lead now on the inside of Tice. Very weird place to make a move there right before the DRS detection zone. I don't know what he's trying to do there. So I think he's very confident that he has the pace to stay ahead of him. Tice saving ERS now. There's more, another yellow flag. Oh, Aiden spins out of the position. Aiden spins out battling with Oliver on the exit of turn 2 and he goes off the track. And now the battle between Sander and Oliver will continue now as look at this, Dylan's back in the race now, almost within DRS range of Sander in this race. This is a very interesting race so far. Dan using some ERS to try and catch up to the leaders, so this lead group is very good. As now Ian all over the back of Max. What is happening today? As Ian seems to have the pace to get a podium once again now. This time against Max, we'll see what he can do. Ian's driving has been absolutely fantastic so far this season. This has been his best season of his career so far, without a doubt. He's really starting to get towards the front running order here. About as fast as Rowan, I'd say, on pace recently. He's been very quick. But as you can see now, Tice all over the back of Fabian once again. Couldn't quite manage to make a move, it seemed, this lap round, but he's very close still. But once again, Fabian has just a little bit more ERS than Tice, as Tice trying to run close to the back of Fabian, who made an aggressive move down the back straight, making sure he used that ERS advantage just to make a move. And out of the race is Aiden now. I think he crashed on purpose there, or maybe he just made a mistake, I'm not sure. And that might be a safety car. We'll find out in a second, as Tice now might need a safety car in this race to try and gain the things. No safety car. I think they realised the throttle application was that of an intentional crash. Oh, and there's a battle now. I should look now. It's a big overtake here from Sanders. Very critical for him in this race as he goes down around the outside going to turn 1. Well, I imagine he'll dive him down the inside, won't he? Oliver down the inside into turn 1. He does. Will they make contact? He does make the move stick, though. Sander was respectful going through there. He did make the move stick. And now in this battle, Dan's all over the back of Dylan now. And down the back straight, Fabian's so fast in the first sector. He just managed to pull away from Tice. I think he used some ERS maybe to get away. No, he didn't. They're about even though. 38% for Fabian, 30% for Tice. So it's pretty close here. Ian now all over the back in the DRS of Max now for third place. So he has the pace now. Dylan gets overtaken down inside, but he's going to get switched back on Dan. Going down the back straight. He tries to go back around the outside. Can't make a move stick, but now he's going to have all the slipstream in the world down the back straight and the DRS and the ERS. Not much though. And there's contact down the straight. He moved in the straight line as Dan gets hit into the wall almost by the Aston Martin. And they're side by side in front of them. Sander on the inside of Oliver now. He's going to go on the curve trying to stay alongside with them, but he can't quite manage to do that as he goes down the straight. Will use ERS and a bit of the slipstream to try and get back past Sander down the straight here. I don't think he will, but now Tice has once again gained a little bit in the final sector and the middle sector, as he often does with the DRS. And running outside of scene, Dan tries to get back past him. He goes off the track though, and there's more contact again now as he goes really far off the track. The defense here of Dylan has been very dangerous so far. He might need a warning for that. We'll see as that goes. And now still side by side in front, as down the inside once again now goes Oliver on Sander, who seems to be having an amazing ding-dong battle for 5th position, as that is really helping the cars behind though to catch up, but they're having a battle themselves, so it's very close. As now Dan side by side and goes around the outside with a decisive move, but will he hang on in there? He's going to try and make a move around the outside once again. He's going to have the DRS going down into turn 1, and Tice is struggling here to stay within the DRS of Fabian. Tice is incredibly close to Fabian. This is an incredible race so far in the midfield scrap, and the lead battle is absolutely sensational. As into the back of he goes. Big contact there for Oliver. He spins round right in front of Dan. He drove straight into the back, and it was the controller that disconnected for Aiden. That's why he crashed. And now down the inside of Sander maybe goes Dan. Can he make this move stick on the inside? He get that. He just Oliver ran straight into the back of Sander in turn 1. There's contact between the two of them. And Tice going off again now as Max starts to pull a gap here on Ian, up to 2 seconds now. Down the straight, Fabian has less ERS now than Tice. Tice is doing an amazing job of staying with him and saving ERS, but I think they should both be focusing on that at the moment. Fabian needs to save more ERS. He's in the lead. He has nothing to lose. Tice is thinking more about strategy in this race. So I think Fabian's best cause would be to save ERS now in the lead of the race. As Max has 70% ERS. Ian has 60. Midfield battle once again getting intense. So as you can see, Dylan is right behind Sander.
There was big contact with me and rough mirror.
Yeah, I know. Sander, I literally commentated it as it happened.
Okay, but also what happened was it?
So no, it was. I think that was Oliver's fault. He just drove straight into the back of Sandy. We braked way too late for the corner and just drove into him and spun around. So it wasn't. I think it was just. It was his own fault. So no penalty should be given to anyone there. I don't think so. No investigation. I don't think necessary for that incident between Oliver and Sander. Sander pits. Sander pits now.
Yeah.
For the hard on lap 7. That's an aggressive battle. Does he have damage? I'm not sure. We'll find out in a second. As we're looking now at the battle now between Oliver and Dan. Dan has got a little bit away, but it looks like he does have DRS, does Oliver now, so he's very close. And so 2 drivers pitting now, as Sander did pit there, and also pitting is Oliver now after having a great first part to the stint here, as Ty's staying right behind Fabian in the DRS, just saving his tyres, biding his time. He hasn't got anything to worry about. Fabian has the pace, but does he have the consistency? A good exit though here from Tyce. Could he make a move maybe down into turn 10? And we'll find out in a second. Both drivers pretty even on ERS though, so I think Tyce has a slight advantage. Yes, he does about 20% ERS, so we'll see how this goes. Tyce driving a smart race here today. If he can save ERS and stay with him, he will, so.
Doe maar dan een restart maken.
Nee, geen restart.
Jawel, ik crash mijn car.
Hoezo gaan we restarten? Nee, we zijn er 107. Ja, maar ik ga niet opnieuw.
While this battle for lead's going on, Max is keeping the gap pretty consistent, so he has the pace here. Ian just losing a little bit of time each lap, about a tenth a lap he's losing on the Max in front of him, so.
Nog niet restart.
Yeah, Max very good in the last sector. A restart is being debated now between the drivers as they go through on the 8th lap of the race now, as Fabian starts it. Fabian starts the 8th lap of the race, I should say. It's too early for a red flag, but anything can happen in this race, so.
No, it's not too early for a red flag, but there's no yellows, so there's no point of doing a red flag.
Yeah, in fairness, last season we did have a red flag around the same time, as 5,000's down on his best first sector as Ty, so keeping up with Fabian, who had a purple first sector now. Fabian's so good in that corner, as lagging a little bit there on the exit of the corner on my screen, as Dan just, Dan and Oliver, Dan and Dylan now very close together, as Sander pits once again now. Not sure why Sander just pitted again. Has he got damage or something? I'm not sure.
Because they didn't fix my fucking front.
Oh, they didn't fix the front wing of Sander. That's very unfortunate. As now look how close he is. Oh man, the gaps between them get very close as they go through here. Look at Tice now with a massive slipstream going towards turn 10. Will he make a move here on the inside of Fabian? There's not much use in doing that. He might try and make a move down the inside if he breaks early. He's going to try it. He looks for the door, tries to force an error, but no, Fabian stays firm as he comes out the corner. Max is a second slower in the straight line alone than the cars in front of him, so the slipstream is really powerful right here. As Tice goes wide off the corner, that's going to gain him some time a little bit there on the inside of the corner. That should be a warning. I'm not sure if it is or not. Ian, though, staying pretty close. What Tice? What? Oh, hi, Dan. Yeah, sorry. Tice, will he make a move down the inside of Fabian into turn 1? He almost hit the back of him there. That was very close to contact. And now a penalty for Dylan for multiple warnings. I'm not surprised by that. He has been running very wide all this weekend so far. Both drivers get penalties now as they headed down there, as Tice is right all over the back of Fabian, who just does. He's been saving ERS these last couple of laps, but not quite enough to probably defend from the amount that Tice has, around double the amount of his ERS at the moment. So Tice is doing a great job with his ERS. Is about 40% for Fabian now as he comes down the straight, and he's going to use some ERS. He might as well. He has some more than Fabian does, so he's going to use a bit down the straight, only a little bit. He's about 10% as he goes down the inside. Tice retakes the lead here on lap 9, going into the chicane. Will Fabian retake the position, or will he just sit in line? He has the pace to sit in line, I think, so that he might as well just sit here, use the slipstream to save ERS, but no, he's going to try and go aggressive. He uses some ERS down the straight to get a good exit, but no, now he stops deploying, heading down into scene. So, Ian now, is that Ian complaining? I'm not sure who that was. So
that was Joas. He's not in the lead.
Yeah, the tyre wear is massive at this track. It's very front limited circuit, so the understeer gets very bad over the course of the stint. It really can affect the handling of the car quite aggressively. Fabian is so fast relative to Thijs now, all over the back of him as soon as he overtook him. So Fabian is definitely faster on outright pace, I'd say, but he just doesn't have the ERS to make a move here. So on lap 9, as the yellow flagging again now, Max has spun out of third place, I believe, and that's given Ian a chance to maybe get close to him. He's very close to the DRS detection zone. Ian has he has got a slight ERS advantage here over Max, I believe. Sorry, it's about the same to be fair, but 65 to 70%. But I think that will help him down the straight as he gets a massive slipstream, which he has needed to have, as Fabian once again now within 4/10 of Thijs for the lead. Will he retake the position down this back straight? We'll find out in a second. Thijs though has just been saving ERS.
You know how after Austria you made like a video of all crashes and spins? Yeah, you should do that with all battles this race.
Oh, you know, I should make like highlights for each race if I can be bothered, but it just takes up a lot of space on my phone to make, like, keep uploading and then deleting the things I make. It just kind of fucks up my editing software. Anyway, I will try and make a video about the battles, because there have been a lot of good battles at the start of this race, but it's really spaced out a bit now in the second part of the stint. But Ian with DRS on Max now, I believe. I don't know if he actually did have it, but he's within a second of him, so he has better straight line speed than Max. He's really set up his car for cornering here. Definitely a quality setup that he's running at the moment. Doesn't seem to be working in the race, but the tyre wear both drivers is really giving them a problem. Giving them bother, I guess, as Fabian now all over the back of Thijs once again. They're going through here. He's so fast in the final sector. Forced a little bit of a mistake. He's going to be very fast. Will Fabian make a move into this corner now? He's only under... he's right. Oh, I can't speak. 2/10 behind Thijs going into the final sector. All over the back of him now. He's literally lifting through the corners. He's so much faster than Thijs. He just has so much pace to give, but just no way of getting past. He's saving so much ERS in the slipstream of Thijs and not using any of it as well. So both drivers saving ERS at this point, as they might as well. So this is a bit of a calm lull in the race, but we'll see if they can both make a move on each other now. Fabian has the pace to make a move here on Thijs as he goes flat through turn 2. He has so much grip in that car and confidence to make a move.
Pit stop information, is that a thing?
I guess so. We'll look at the details of the tyre. So let's look at the race position changes so far in the meantime. Oh, and Dan makes a mistake on the exit of the final corner there. A little oversteer as position change. Oh, here comes Fabian now all over. He's literally bumping Thijs through that corner now as he comes out the back straight, using some ERS to try and get past him. And he does retake the lead now. Will Thijs use his ERS in the slipstream to retake the position? I'm not sure. He might do it going into scene. He has got an advantage, a huge advantage now over Thijs with ERS. Is heading for the corner now. And Ian once again in the DRS of Max now. So Fabian goes up a position into the lead. Thijs gone down into second place as Max has gone up a place this race. 2 places up for Oliver so far as Aiden's gone down a place with his antics today, as his unfortunate controller disconnection, as Thijs just sitting in line behind Fabian. And Fabian goes a little bit wide into the corner. Will that give him a chance? No, it won't. He gets a straighter exit and a better exit now. Coming up on pit stops, well, in the next 10 laps I'd say would be a good guess.
Okay. Today. Damn, Ian kinda fast.
Yeah, Ian is very fast today. He's keeping up with Max. Max goes off the track. He makes some big mistake and now side by side, 4th, 3rd position between Max and Ian. Ian down the inside. Still side by side. Max gets a better exit on the outside though. Heading down here. Goes defensive.
For turning into Oliver.
I don't know how alongside he was. I didn't see that incident live.
Oh no, it happened right in front of me.
Well, you made the decision on that then. I can't make him a decision at the moment. But he has a penalty anyways. No, not Max, but yeah, still. The Aston Martin isn't very close, so it won't make much of a difference in terms of how close to Ian. I guess Ian could benefit from a penalty. Fabian once again gaining time in the first couple of corners here. He's just so fast. He always has been really fast in the first sector. It's very his best. But Thijs on 100% ERS pretty much here, so really good. But he's so far ahead going down here, so even if he uses the ERS, he just wouldn't be able to gain that much time in the straight, enough to make a move at least, as now Ian's still right all over the back of Max, who just doesn't have the pace today. He's 12.8 seconds behind the race leaders and has made several mistakes, so he's not in a very good position now. Dan also 18 seconds off of Ian. The tyres just really struggling. He's really struggling with the tyres today as Ian, so, and I think everyone is, to be fair. So looking at the tyre strategy so far, 11 laps run for all of the top 6 drivers on the hard tyre, but it is Oliver and Sander that have pitted for medium tyres. Is down the... Oh, why did my volume just go down? That's weird. Go on. Fabian though holds some lead. The closest battle of this race has always been the lead battle. It's been constantly within 0.5 of a second between the top 2 drivers, so very close battles between these two. in this Grand Prix. We're going to watch the battle with Ian and Max though, because I think that could be the one that gets spicier the soonest between those two battles. The only two battles on track at the moment. No one seems to have a real big pace advantage in the midfield. Dan is actually gaining some time on these guys in front of him. I don't know how much ERS he's using. He's got 35% relative to Ian, who's really close this lap now behind Max. Goes in a bit deep into the final corner though, and that's going to cost him some time. He goes really, really crossed up his exit there, and going to cost him some time down the straight. He has got DRS, but a terrible exit will cost him time all the way down the straight, unfortunately for Ian there. But he is very fast here, and very much fast enough to get up to Max. So in the strategy, maybe if he tries an undercut or an overcut towards the end of the race, he could try and get past Max with an overcut if he thinks he has the pace, which I think he does. Or he could try an undercut and try and get past him by being faster at the start of the stint and just letting Max close up to him. But Max is very good at saving. But it actually is Ian that has more ERS, because Max tried to deploy a little of energy trying to stay ahead of him. Tyus looks like he's used a bit of ERS. I don't know if that's just because the straight's so long and he's just been deploying like that, but we'll see as Fabian's saving ERS himself. But there's a really good exit here from Tyus out of the chicane. He's got a good exit, a good chance to retake the lead now, going into Scene corner. Goes to the outside of Scene. That's never worked. You saw Dan try and do that earlier, but it didn't work as he goes round the outside. Will he try and hold firm? Yeah, there's almost contact between the two of them as Fabian understeers towards Tyus. Tyus stays around the outside now as they go side by side for the corner, and Fabian shuts the door on him. That was good defense there from Fabian. I'd say that was fair racing as he came across Tyus on the outside of the corner. As now Fabian holds on to the lead now ahead of Tyus, who goes and uses much more curve on the exit, and that will actually lose him some time weirdly down the straight. But Ian staying within around about 1.5 seconds of Max. If he makes a mistake, Ian will be all over the back of him. Max has been prone to mistakes in this series, and we may see him do it again in this race. He has done several times this race, made a mistake. He did a half spin. He did a half spin earlier in the race, and he's done it again, and that gave Ian a chance to get past him, but Ian just didn't quite capitalise as good as he could off the opportunity. Yeah, and his tyres just haven't got the grip in the stint. Just really struggling with the tyre wear today, with so much understeer on these cars because of the front limited nature of the track. A lot of turning and braking has to be done, which can really scrub off the front tyres in a bad way. So as we see, Sanders gaining about 2 seconds a lap on the car in front, which is Oliver here. Yeah, the red flag window is open now, so we'll see how that goes. There's another run here at Fabian for Tyus. Is 40% ERS though for Fabian versus 90 for Tyus. So Tyus has been the GOAT at saving ERS this season, I would say, as Max has made a mistake, and now it's going to be all over the back as Ian, will he deploy any energy to make a move? He has got 10% more than Max down the straight pretty much, so I'd say it might be worth it using a little bit, but we'll see how important it is in this race. But Max again making a mistake, costing him some time here. Tyus getting pretty close to Fabian in the front of the field, but not close enough to make a move.
Yeah, ready.
Will Fabian go wide? No, he doesn't get some nice exit, I believe. Yes, he does. So Fabian once again gaining a lot of time on Tyus. Did Tyus make a mistake? I'm not sure.
52 on the front tires.
Massive tyre wear on the hard tyres here today, so only just halfway through the race now as the leaders came through halfway point of this lap, and now both leaders pit. So both the leaders pit on the same lap. They're going to go really long on those tyres on the mediums. I think they're going to be absolutely dead at the end of the race. So if Max stays out, he might have a good opportunity here to maybe capitalise from that, but we'll see if he pits, because no one likes their tyres. Will Ian pit? Ian could try an undercut maybe. I don't think he will. No, he doesn't. Not the best strategy. The tyres will be absolutely destroyed at the end of the race. So Ian thinking in the big picture. The leaders have nothing to lose though. So unless there's a red flag, the leaders are in a good position now. Who's it going to be on the exit? Tyus all over the back of him on the pit lane exit though, as we watch him go down the pit lane right behind Fabian as he gets a good exit out of the pit lane. How close is Tyus going to be on the exit of the pit lane? It's around about 1.05 seconds as they come out the pit lane, but it's 6/10 now between the two of them. So Tyus gained time in the pit stops there a little bit, but he's going to lose it on the exit of the corner. As now Ian and Max battle for the on-track race lead, which will become...
Seriously, if there's a red flag right now, Ian might have a chance to win.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, he has a chance to win, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Because Max and Fabian and Tyus will be around him, so he's got a lot of competition.
Yeah.
We'll see though. Behind Tyus, just using ERS to try and gain time on Fabian. Matt as well. He has ERS to gain to kill off here as he goes down the straight. Braking very aggressive. Definitely Tyus is he means business now as he goes right behind Fabian. As Ian now all over the back of Max, under 4/10 down the straight, getting a big slipstream. Max trying to stay on the outside to break the toe maybe. Going through Scene corner. Ian has a massive run now. Max goes a little bit defensive. He just I don't know what he's trying to do there. He tried to go defensive, but then came back to the left to try and cover him off as Tyus now right behind the back of Fabian now. Two battles in this race. The battle for first and the battle for third really intensifying as the laps go on. Dan has gained a lot of time, even on the leaders. He's gained 3 seconds on the lead pack and about 5 seconds on Max and Ian this lap. So,
okay, so when the leader spitted, I was 13 seconds behind, and now I'm 15.
Well, you're 17 seconds behind Max, it said on my graphic. So, oh, here we go. In the picks comes Ian. He's trying to undercut on Max here. That could be pivotal in this race. His tyres are done, and he is out into the pit lane for now. But we'll see how he does, as Max might now use some ERS, and he has used a lot of ERS already to try and get the overcut. He's probably going to pit this lap, I'd say. But Tice now battling with Fabian, those two are about a second and a half a lap faster than Max at the front of the field on those fresh tyres. So if they battle though, Max could see a little bit of an advantage from that, but it don't make much of a difference because it's inevitable those guys will pass him as he doesn't pit, which he will this lap, I'm sure, because he's using all of his ERS now. Fabian again running wide. Why is no one listening to my commentary? I literally just said he was in the pit lane. I watched his pit stop. Oh, and now down the back straight, Tyson, a massive slipstream with the ERS around the outside of Fabian. An easy move down the straight with the DRS. But they have now got even ERS. 54% for Fabian, 54% for Tice. It's dead even between the top two in the race. As they both close in on Max now. Will Tice use ERS on the exit? Yes, he does. And that means that Fabian will in response. So both of the leaders in an ERS thing as now. Dan gets a green first sector by 600ths of a second. So interesting for him there. What will Max manage is he's so much slower than the leaders now, as Fabian really dropping off a cliff now, trying to keep up with Tice, who has really good pace on his medium tyres, but I think he's being helped by the slipstream of Max to just stay ahead of him here. But by the time he pits, that advantage will go away, as Sander gets a penalty now for 3 seconds for multiple warnings. As now Max comes into the pit lane, does he? Yes, he does. Yes, Max into the pit lane, used all of his ERS. This is critical in this race now. Ian coming up on some traffic now with Dan in front of him. Will that affect him? I don't think it will, because by the time Max comes out the pit lane, I think he won't make a difference. So Max coming to the pit lane. Tice gets the fastest lap of the race as he crosses the line. Uses way more ERS than Fabian has, so if Fabian can stay within DRS, he should have a massive ERS advantage at some point during this race. But track position may be important with the red flag window being open, so we'll see how that goes. As we watch now, Max coming out the pit lane. Dan comes into the pit lane as well as Ian takes his position. Where's it going to be now? Ian has undercutted Max, I believe. Out the pit lane, yes he has. So Ian takes the position away from Max. We're going to go on board with him now, if we can, as he comes out the pit lane. 9/10 of a second ahead of Max, so it's very close between the two of them. Ian into a net P3 in this Grand Prix. As down the back straight, Fabian has a massive slipstream on the back of Tice, going into the chicane. Side by side into the corner, down the inside he goes, use only a little bit of his ERS to go down the inside, and Fabian retakes the lead now on lap 17 of 27. This is a sensational race between these two, and in the battle for third place, so this is a very interesting Grand Prix so far. As Tice now goes back down the inside, down the back straight into Scene. Tice has a chance to go around the outside, he retakes the lead temporarily, but will he make the move stay? Yes, he does, round the outside. That's a fantastic move from Tice to retake the lead. We're on board with Fabian now. Will he make a move into this corner at turn 11? No, he doesn't, but he's going to stay right behind Tice, trying to see if he can make or force him into an error. As now Max all over the back of Ian now. This is very close, and Max half spins out the corner, and that's going to cost him time. He's now 1.5 seconds behind Ian now, so he was 2/10 behind, and now he's nowhere near him. So this is massive for Max in this race. Just keeps making mistakes in this Grand Prix, and that's just really costing him so much time to these cars around him. I think he does have decent pace.
I know I am as well right now, but like...
Dan has been beaten by 18 seconds and decides to throw shade at Max when that makes absolutely no sense, as Fabian goes up towards Tice into turn 1. Fabian goes in a little bit deep into turn 1, but he can carry more throttle down the corner. So Fabian's been ridiculously fast in the first sector, which is massive for him because he can just gain time. But it's pretty even on ERS. Fabian has a slight advantage though over Tice in this race at the moment, which is the first time I've said that in a while. ERS has been very important for the leaders in this race because the pace is pretty much dead even. So it's all about how much ERS they have down these straights, and it's all going to be how much they have on the final lap and how much they are willing to throw at each other at the end of this race. So Fabian just staying within touching distance of Tice, who is just biding his time here in front. He has so much straight line speed though, Tice, naturally in that Ferrari. So he always has a straight line speed advantage over the rest of the field, I've noticed in his career. It really does give him wins because he just manages to have a setup good enough on the exit corners, as Fabian uses some ERS to gain time on the exit of the chicane down into Scene corner, because the slipstream is very powerful. You just get a little bit of a boost, you can gain time. As Max gained about 4/10 and then lost all of it again going down there. As Sander once again gaining a lot of time on the car ahead of him, which is on really old tyres by the way. 10 lap old tyres for Oliver in front of him, and 9 lap old tyres for Sander. So they might struggle to get to the end of the race today, as only a 10.5 down to be fair on this last lap for Sander, on a good lap for him as the fuel winds down towards the end of this race. So Dan keeping a constant gap to the cars in front, as Fabian is still once again right over the back of Tice. So this is the most interesting battle on track right now, as Fabian almost hits the back of Tice trying to push him around the corner. Made a bit of a mistake there, but with the DRS it will be nullified a little bit. Down the straight, he does get a big slipstream, but let's see. Look at the ERS figures as now. Ty's just starting to gain a bit of an advantage now over Fabian, who just isn't quite fast enough to make moves in the DRS on these straights. He needs to get closer in the first sector if he wants to make a move on this lap. So we'll see how that goes. Max once again gaining time a little bit on Ian, but Ian just seems to have the pace to gain enough time to make a move. As Sando, a second a lap faster it seems in the car ahead. We'll see him in a second probably make a move on the Aston Martin. We had the nice battle between those guys.